Let's see, let's see. Guys, let me know. Can you hear me? Are we live? Let's see. Ho, 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 ho. Let's see, let's see. Things looking good over on the channel. Beautiful, beautiful. Guys, let me know. Can you hear me? What about over on the other platform? I think we're live. Let me turn this one down a little bit. Okay, Eden, beautiful. Welcome, welcome. Guys, hopefully you've had a fantastic day. Hello, Rabia. We're going to give this a few minutes until we get started, guys. Just giving people a little chance to join. Sorry we started a few minutes late. I've been rushing around. Busy day today. Let me just close that window, actually. Start making sounds all of a sudden. Okay. Somebody's saying Mats is gonna cook me. No. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Gaming Galore said it's good. Hey, fantastic. Good to have you on, Gaming Galore. Hello, Dua. Lots of the regulars on today already. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay, I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger. Okay, Zetro GT said, this is definitely going to help me when it comes to GCSEs. Hey, welcome to the community. Sounds like you're in year 10 maybe. Val Ely says, hello, Val. Gaming Galore early on said, hello, can't wait for the live. Here we are, guys. We're going to give it just a few minutes. We're going to be starting at 10 past. Just going to give people a little chance to join. Freddie May, welcome. Good to have you on. Hello, Maria. Good to have you on. Hopefully things are going well. Hopefully the revision's been going well. Hello, Harry T. Hello. Guys, this is awesome. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat, guys. Prodigy Farouk said, it's Thursday. I thought you were doing higher. Yeah, so this evening I'm going to be doing foundation 7 till 8. And then I'm going to be doing higher, probably 8 till 8:30. Maybe till 8:45. Just need to be a little bit careful with timings. Yeah, Maria said higher tier in an hour. Yeah, exactly. I did make an announcement. I don't think it got through to everybody. Hakimi said what time finish. The foundation session is going to be finishing at 8 o'clock. Then we're going to take a little bit of a break, like 5-10 minutes. Then I'm going to do some higher as well. Gaming Law said it was a post. Yeah, exactly. Rachel Lee said, are you doing the whole test for higher tier? I'm actually not going to do the whole paper. We're not going to have time. But I'm probably gonna end up doing about 2/3 of it. We're gonna see. Ishi said, can we start? Guys, let me know. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready to get going, and we will get going with today. Haf says, what paper is your favorite, sir? Oh, good question. I would be lying if I said I had a favorite. If I had to pick one, I would actually go for paper one. I like myself a little bit of non-calculator. Typist is ready. Rachel E is ready. Rabbi is ready. Emma Kelly's ready. Welcome, Emma. Somebody who signed up for the Live Academy. Awesome. Guys, so the Live Academy sessions this week are going to be tomorrow evening, 5:30 until 6:30. No, what am I on about? 5 till 6, sorry, and then 6:30 until 7:30. I'm waffling. First one's going to be foundation, next one's going to be higher. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on. Question number 1, guys. It says, write the following numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to read it, and then I'm going to go through it. I'm not going to give you long for these first ones because they're not worth many marks. Gaming Galore said, is it £20 a month? Yeah, exactly. So a little bit about the Live Academy. Lots of people have been asking me to go live more. Unfortunately, I couldn't do more lives on social media, but I have managed to free up a little bit of time, and I've built a website, mygcsemaths.com. So there's going to be 4 live lessons a week over there, and it's £20 a month. So if you get it now, it's going to be essentially £40 until the end of GCSEs. So it works out like £1 a lesson or something. Yeah, or it would be a little bit more, maybe £1.30 or 40 or something. Okay, question number 1. Let's have a look at this one. It says, write the following numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. We have 0.4, 0.02, 0.37, 0.152, and 0.2. Guys, the best way to do this, I would say, is to write in decimal places or zeros after all of our numbers so they have the same number of decimal places. So we're going to write in 2 zeros after the 4, 1 0 after the 2, 1 0 after the 3, and 2 zeros after the 2. Now we can work from left to right and go from smallest to biggest, kind of working along our columns. So they all have a 0 in the first column, so we're going to look to the next column. We can see that this one, the 0.152, is the only one with a 1 in that column, so that's going to be our smallest number, 0.152. Up next, oh, guys, I misread it. Look, 1 has a 0 in it. That's my bad. Oh, it's struggling there. So yeah, this one has a 0 in the first column. So yeah, 0.02 would be our first one. Next up, we can look at that 0.152. We're going to cross both of those out. Next up, we're going to have our 0.2 because that's got a 2 in that column. Next up, the 0.37 has a 3 in that column. So we're going to write in 0.37, and then the 0.4 is going to be our biggest one. Working from left to right, going through our columns, we could actually do all of them with the first column there, so it wasn't too bad at all. Okay, looking at this next one, write 0.6 as a percentage. Let's have a look and see what we can do. Who got that one? Nicely done, Zetro GT. Hopefully you didn't misread it the way I did. Astro Play said, take me out of A-level. Let me do this instead. Definitely A-level's a big step up, eh? Okay, 0.6 is a percentage. Drop your answer in the chat for me, guys, and we're going to go through it. Gaming Galore's got an answer. Ishi says 60%. Bossman said, is this paper 1? This one is paper 1. A couple of people saying 60 over 100. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. A couple more seconds, guys. Drop your answers in the chat for me, and we will have a look. Yep, lots of people dropping 60. Guys, if you said 60, you are exactly right. Well done. So question 2, the answer is 60. And the reason is because to go from a decimal to a percentage, we're going to actually multiply by 100. So here we can do 0.6. So 0.6 times by 100. To multiply a decimal by 100, we're going to move the decimal point 2 places to the right. We move it once, we're going to get 6. We move it twice, we're going to get 60, giving us our answer, guys, to that one of 60%. Superb work if you got that one. Question 3 and 4 on the screen now. First up, we want to write down a factor of 10. Again, guys, drop your answer in the chat for this one, and then we will go through it. What do we reckon? Sam says 5. A couple of people saying no idea for this one. NRG Ghost said third is 5, okay. T-Bone Rex jumping ahead of question, I see. What do we think, guys? Question number 3. Those of you who said 5, you are exactly right. You are exactly right. Really well done. So the key with answering this question is going to be recognizing what this word factor means. So what is a factor of 10? A factor of 10, guys, is a number which goes into 10. So it's a number which we can times by another number to get 10. 5 times by 2 is going to be 10. So we can say that 5 is in fact a factor of 10. A couple of people put 20. 20 would not be a factor of 10. 20 would be a multiple of 10 because 10 actually goes into 20. Hopefully that one makes sense now. Question number 4, let's have a look at this one. It says write 7,829 to the nearest 1,000. Guys, have a look, see what you can do. Drop your answer in the chat. Man like Basayo says 8,000. Ishi says 8,000. Travis Head, 8,000. Lou, 8,000. Guys, well done if you got that one. This one is actually 8,000. It is 8,000. Now, how do we know that it's 8,000? To round 7,829 to the nearest 1,000, what we're going to do is we're going to look at our thousands column, the first one. Then we're going to look at the next column. If it's 5 or above, we're going to round up. And if it's 4 or below, we're going to round down. Here, because it's 8, it's greater than 5. So we're going to round up. So we turn that first 7 into an 8. And then we fill in the rest of the columns with placeholder zeros, giving us 8,000. Guys, if you got that one, nicely done. Question number 5 on the screen. Question number 5 on the screen. Astro Play says, love a bit of bid mass. Yep. You've got that topic. A few different answers for this one. A couple of people saying 22, a couple of people saying 21. We have a 36. Energy Ghost says it's 22. Just gonna have a quick sip of my water. Guys, it's so hot in this room. I don't know if I look red on the camera, but I am so hot in this room. Okay, lots of people saying this one's 22. Lots of people saying 22. Let's have a look. Question 5a says work out 3 times by 5 plus 7. How do we do this? Well, here we have two different operations. We have a multiply and a plus. What we're going to do is we're going to apply BIDMAS. BIDMAS is an acronym which describes the order of operations in a calculation: brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Because multiplication comes before addition, we're going to do that multiplication first. So we're going to do 3 times by 5, which is 15, and then we're going to add that 7 on. 15 plus 7, guys, that's going to be 22. If you got that one, fantastic job. Let's have a look at this next one. Work out 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3. Junaid said you look red. Yeah, guys, it is boiling in this room. Let me have a quick look. I can see myself on TikTok. Yeah, I do look pretty red, actually. Well, I mean, I am red, so. Okay. 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3. Junaid says 8. Gaming Galore says 8. He also said it's hot all over the UK. Yeah, work out 2 to the power of 3. Guys, how are we going to do it? When we raise a number to a power, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply that number by itself that many times. So here we're going to do 2 times by 2 times by 2, and that, guys, is going to give us 8. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Part C, it says write brackets in this statement to make it correct. Guys, drop your answers in the chat for this one. Let's see what we can do. Drop your answers in the chat. So let's write this out, because you've got the equals button, you've got the plus, you've got the times. What do we reckon? Where do these brackets go? Is it going to be around the 7 and the 2? Is it going to be around the 2 and the 3? What's it going to look like? Okay, Gaming Galore is saying 2 and 3. Okay, somebody saying 2 and 4. Hakeem said big up Harris J. I don't know what that is, but okay, lots of people dropping 42 in the chat. Don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, nicely done, Rohama. Sahib's World, guys, you guys are doing great. Over on the channel, you guys are doing great. So if anybody's wondering, actually, I'm actually live on TikTok and the channel at the same time. Both are just my GCSE maths. So where are they going to go? Guys, they're going to go around the 2 and the 3. And the reason is because if we put them around the 2 and the 3, what it basically means is that we do this 2 plus 3 before we deal with this times 7. So this would turn it into 7 times by 5, which would be 35. So that would give us what we need there. Okay, question number 6. 3 marks. I would say this is the trickiest one yet. It's still not too bad, hopefully. But I would say it is the trickiest one yet. Let's have a look. A couple of people asking. Okay, looking. Mimi said, yes, she has enough for 2 weeks and 2 days. What do we reckon over on the channel? Okay. What do we reckon? Emmanuel said, around what time is higher? Guys, I'm going to do the higher stream this evening at probably 8:15. Probably 8:15. I'm going to knock it back so I have a bit of breathing time because I'm getting hot in this room already. Okay, what's it going to be? Question number 6. It says, Sue has 2 cats. Each cat eats a quarter of a tin of cat food each day. Sue buys 8 tins of cat food. Has Sue bought enough cat food to feed her cats for 14 days? You must show how you get your answer. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to start off by working out how much cat food we go through each day. We're told that Sue has 2 cats and each of them eats a quarter of a tin of cat food each day. So we're going to start off by doing 2 times by a quarter. We can do, easiest way to explain this is going to be to write the 2 as a fraction. So 2 is the same as 2 over 1. And then we do the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. We have 2 over 4, which is a half. So we go through a half a tin of cat food each day. She buys 8 tins of cat food. That means we're going to have 8 times by 2, which is equal to 16. We're going to have enough for 16 days worth of food. Why is that? Well, if you buy 8 tins and you go through half a tin each day, each tin is going to last for 2 days. I'll write that in there. So each tin is going to last 2 days. and we have 8 tins, so it's 16 days in total. So do we have enough cat food for 14 days? Yes, we do. Guys, we actually have enough for 16 days. Nicely done, T-Bone. Yeah, great job, great job. Okay, moving down to question number 7 now. Definitely give this one a go. Definitely give this one a go. Even if you don't have the paper printed out, definitely think about how you would do this one. Engel said, yikes, it's in 2 weeks. Guys, they are coming up. They are coming up. I'm going to speak a little bit about that later on, because I know a lot of people are starting to get a little bit nervous. And I've got some advice for that. Kind of how to deal with the nerves, a bit of anxiety kicking around for people, dealing with the pressure and whatever it might be. So yeah, stick around for that. Okay, question number 7. Also, for anybody wondering actually about the this discount code on the screen. So I've just launched mygcsemaths.com, way more live streams over there. I'm not going to talk about it for long because I want to go through this paper pronto, but basically that discount code is only going to work today. And the first lessons are actually taking place there tomorrow, and then it's going to be 4 lessons a week, every week between now and the end of exams. Okay, question number 7, let's have a look. It says, there are only apple trees, cherry trees, pear trees, and plum trees in an orchard. The pictogram shows information about the number of apple trees, cherry trees, and pear trees, and we want to fill in this gap for plum trees. We're also told that there's a total of 30 trees in the orchard. So how can we do this? We've been given this key. We're told that one big square represents 4 trees. So a half a square is going to be 2 trees, and a quarter of a square, which is actually a smaller square, is going to be 1 tree because it's a quarter of that 4. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to work out how many trees are already shown by the squares in apple, cherry, and pear. And then we're going to add the boxes into plum to make up for that. So how can we do it? Well, each of these big squares is going to be 4 trees. Here we have 3 big squares. So we're going to have 3 times by 4. Let's go 4. Oh, let me just write that in super clearly. So we're going to go 4, 4, 4, which is going to be 12. Over here, we're going to have a 4 and a 1, which is going to be 5. Then we're going to have a 4 and a 2, which is going to be 6. The next thing we can do, guys, is we can add all of those together to work out how many trees are already represented in that pictogram. So we can do 12 plus 5 plus our 6. 12 plus 5 is 17, plus 6 is going to be 23. So what that tells us is that in this plum row, we're actually going to need the difference between the total number of trees, 30, and the number that we have at the moment, the 23. So we can do 30 minus 23, and this is going to be 7, so we can write a 7 in here. How are we going to do this with the boxes? Well, we're going to have one big box. That's going to represent 4, and then we're going to have 3 of these smaller boxes, which is kind of going to cause this shape. Let's see how well I can draw it on there. Beautiful, absolutely perfect. So that's how it's going to look, guys. We have the one big box, and then we have this kind of L shape. Fantastic job if you got that one. Moving on now to question number 8. Everybody drop the answer in the chat for this one. Let's have a look. Okay, looking at the chat. Div says median, please. I think there's a question in this paper on median, actually. Rose said, I watched one of your videos and passed my mocks. Hey, congratulations, Rose. That's great to hear. Yeah, good job, Ishi. Good job, Alt Fix over on the TikTok. A couple of people asking where to get the papers. You can get them from Maths Genie, Physics and Maths Tutor. Okay, let's have a look. Answers coming in the chat now for this one. Sawyer, No Name, 4 Exoria, Tadi. Everybody's saying -2, -1 for this one. Over on the channel, we have Div, Farham, we have Scarces. Guys, if you said -2, -1, you are correct. So how do we do this one? Well, we can see that the point A is over here. And really the key thing to know for this one is that we always go along the corridor first and then up or down the stairs. So we go -2 in the X direction, so that goes first, and then down 1 in the Y direction, so we have -1 in that second space. Nicely done if you got that one. Next up, it says, on the grid, mark with a cross X, the point 2, 3. Label this point B. Again, we're going to have to go along the corridor, then up the stairs. So we're going to go across to 2, and then we're going to go up to 3. Part C, I'm just going to go through this one as well because you're not going to be able to do it if you don't have the paper printed out. It says, on the grid, draw the line with equation x is equal to -4. How's this going to look, guys? Actually, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Guys, what should I draw on the graph for this one? So what does this line look like? X equals -4. X equals -4. Is it a horizontal line or is it a vertical line? That's going to be my first part. Travis said straight line. That's correct. Ishi said a line down -4. Gary Leeper said straight down through -4. Yep, Dot said the same thing. Guys, if you said that, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So this one's a little bit counterintuitive. This one's a little bit counterintuitive. But what we basically say is that when we have a line which is x equals something, it's going to be a vertical line through that value of x. Oh, that didn't work for some reason. There we go, that's better. So a vertical line through that value of x. And the logic there is basically that at every single point on this line, the value of x is always equal to -4. If instead we wanted to draw, for example, let's say y, oh, let me rub that out, I want to switch color. If instead we wanted to draw y is equal to 2, this one would actually be a horizontal line through y is equal to 2. So that's kind of the difference there. X equals something is going to be a vertical line, and y equals something is going to be a horizontal line. Okay, moving on now to question number 9. It says g is equal to 9, h is equal to 4. Work out the value of 2g plus 3h. Guys, this question is a little bit of a gift, I would say. This question is a bit of a gift. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do this. Clips ZZ said, how is this higher? This one's actually not a higher paper. This is a foundation paper. We're going to be doing higher a little bit later on, starting at about 8:15 probably. Maybe we're going to go straight in. No, actually 8:15. Okay. Energy Ghost, good luck with the exam tomorrow. Nice to see the community pulling through, being super supportive. Hey, that's so cool. That's so cool. Guys, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty tired today. I'm pretty tired today. Clip says, all right, I thought foundation was on Tuesdays. Yeah, so this week it changed. I did make an announcement on my story and stuff. Gaming Galore, I'm going to make an announcement for that. Said, could you let me know when the next YouTube live is? I'm going to make an announcement. In the next couple of days, I'm going to sort the plan and it will be made official. Okay, question number 9. This one says, work out the value of 2g plus 3h. I didn't actually see anyone. Oh yeah, Farhan, nicely done, put an answer in 30. Rabia says 30 as well. Guys, let's have a look. How are we going to do this? Well, this is a classic substitution question. What we're going to do is we're going to substitute g is equal to 9 into our expression, and also h is equal to 4. So 2 times by g, so 2 times by 9, plus 3 times by h, so 3 times by 4. Now we're going to apply BIDMAS. We're going to do 18 plus 12, and then we're going to do 18 plus 12, which is 30. Guys, if you got that one, nicely done. Well done, Richard. Well done, Mohammed. Well done, QSS Editorium. Guys, question number 10. Write down 2 prime numbers that have a sum of 32. 2 prime numbers that have a sum of 32. What do we reckon? There are 2 combinations. Yep, there are 2 combinations we can have for this one. Lynn Chiki said, how long will this go on for? So we're going to finish doing foundation at 8 o'clock. Then we're going to have like maybe a 10-15 minute break, and then back for a little bit of higher revision. A few people have been asking in the chat about that discount code as well. So that is actually only going to work today. That code. The first lessons are taking place tomorrow inside of the Live Academy. I'll speak a little bit about it later. But it's super exciting. Okay, let's have a look. Jamie says 29 and 3. Buemo says 3 and 29. Max 27 and 5. Anybody else? Grace 19 and 13. Okay, we've had both of the answers then. Perfect. So two different options for this one. The first thing to understand, guys, is going to be what prime numbers are. Our prime numbers are going to be our numbers which have exactly two factors. The first few prime numbers are going to be 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, etc. And then choosing a couple which are going to add up to 32, we could have, for example, 13 and 19. 13 and 19. Key thing to remember, because it's a really common mistake, guys, is that 1 is actually not a prime number. 1 is not a prime number, and the reason is because it only has one factor of 1. So 2 is a prime number, it's the only even prime number. 1 is not a prime number. The other option would have been to use 3 and 29. 3 and 29. That would have also been a combination of two prime numbers that have a sum of 32. Nicely done, Farhan. Nicely done, Bazgamo. Yep, you guys saw it. Great work. Okay, question number 11. Here are some fractions. One of these fractions is not equivalent to 3 over 4. Which of the fractions? Guys, drop your answers in the chat for this one. I think you've got this in the locker. I think you've got this. Let me just see if my... Yeah. Okay, Gaming Law says 10 over 16. Anybody else? Gaming Law said as well, so do you just have to find numbers that add to 32? Yeah, that's exactly right. And they have to be prime numbers as well. Okay, yeah, guys, well done. If you said 10 over 16 for this one, you are exactly right. 10 over 16 is our answer. What we do here is we simplify all of those fractions as much as we can until we can't simplify them anymore. So 9 over 12, we can divide top and bottom both by 3. That would give 3 over 4. 6 over 8, we can divide top and bottom both by 2. That would give 3 over 4. 18 over 24, we can divide top and bottom both by 6. 10 over 16, if we divided top and bottom both by 2, we would get 5 over 8, which is not the same as 3 over 4. And then 15 over 20, we could divide top and bottom both by 5, and we would get 3 over 4. Guys, if you got that one, nicely done. Part B, work out 1 over 12 plus 5 over 6. Classic question, guys, classic question. You're actually very likely to get one like this. Let's see what we can do. Well done, Julia. Well done, Saya. Well done, Grace. Yeah, good work, guys. Good work, good work. Lou says 11 over 12 for this one. Emma Kelly, good to have you in the chat, said 11 over 12 as well. Guys, let's have a look. How do we add one fraction to another fraction like this? What we're going to do is we're going to firstly write them over a common denominator. We're going to write them over a common denominator. Now, how do we do that? Well, we need to find a number which 12 and 6 both go into. 12 and 6 actually both go into 12. 12 times by 1 is 12, so that goes into itself. And then 6 times by 2 would be 12. So we can write both of these over 12. The 1 over 12 is going to stay the same. And the 5 over 6, we can times top and bottom both by 2. On the top, we're going to be left with 10. And on the bottom, 6 times by 2 is going to give us 12. Now, when it comes to adding them together, all that we have to do is we can add those numerators. So we're going to do 1 plus 10. That's going to be 11 over 12 as our answer. Guys, if you got that one, nicely done. A few seconds to screenshot. 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 12. We're going to skip this one just because it's a bit awkward. Question number 13, we'll do this one. Okay. Having a quick look at the chat. Few different answers I'm seeing for this one. Question number 13. few different answers I'm seeing for this one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Bazgamo says 1 to 4 to 2. Question 13. Let's have a look. Asmol, Ryan, and Kim each played a game. We're told in this one that Asmol's score was 4 times by Ryan's score, and that Kim's score was half of Asmol's score. And then we're asked to write down the ratio of Asmol's score to Ryan's score to Kim's score. So Asmol's score to Ryan's score to Kim's score. How are we going to do this? Well, the best way to do questions like this, guys, is to just start off with the first piece of information and make sure that the ratio works for that bit. The first thing we're told here is that Asmol's score was 4 times by Ryan's score. So we can say that if Asmol's score is 4, Ryan's score is going to be 1. So by writing the ratio in that way, we've made sure that the A is 4 times the R, or the value of A is 4 times the value of R. Now, what about adding K to this ratio? We're told that Kim's score was half of Asmol's score. So looking then, we can see that in the ratio, we have a 4 for Asmol's score. So writing in Kim's score then, we can halve this, we can just write it as 2. And that, guys, is going to be how we do this one. We can write this as 4 to 1 to 2. Guys, if you got that one, brilliant job. Moving on to our next question. Question number 14. Should we do this one or should we skip it? Let me know in the chat. Everybody have a quick vote for me. I know some people will want me to skip this one because it's on the because it's got a diagram and stuff. Let's have a look. I'm gonna go with the majority. Ishi says do it. Ice says do it. Emma Kelly says do it. Islamic Edit says do it. Nuke says do it. Okay, guys. Yep, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Question number 14. Question number 14. Should we go through it now? Please don't spam the chat though, guys. Please don't spam the chat. If you need something to be seen, put it in a couple of times, but no more than that. Okay, question 14. Also, actually, guys, I've got another question. You know, when I do these live streams, is it better if I kind of give you guys time to do each of the questions and make them very interactive? Or would you prefer me to just go through the paper? Because there is a world where I can just, you know, not do any chitter chatter, not give you any time to do the questions, and I literally just speed run the paper. What do you think? What would you rather me do? And guys, let me know in the chat. This one's super important. So say either just do the paper or give us time to do it. Gaming Galore said, I think you should let us do it and then ask for the answers and go through it. Yeah. Sarah says speed run. This is so interesting, eh? Because most people on the TikTok say just do it, and pretty much everyone on the YouTube says give the time. What that means is that the YouTube fam are studying way harder. People on the TikTok are just scrolling on average. Obviously, that's not everybody. Whereas people on the channel probably have the paper printed out or are properly doing it. That's super interesting, actually. Yeah, that's super interesting. Julia said, give us time. Zora said, just do it, no talking, no jibber jabber. Okay, guys, let's go through this one anyway, and then I'll check again. Question 14, it says the diagram shows quadrilateral ABCD with each of its sides extended. We're told that AB is equal to AD, so AB is equal to AD. Show that ABCD is a kite. Give a reason for each stage of your working out. So what we're gonna have to do here, guys, is we're just gonna have to work out all of the angles that we can and see what's going on after that. So ABCD, we need to show it's a kite. So let's work out the angles. We can start off by working out this one here. This angle here, guys, is going to be 50. And the reason is because it's vertically opposite. So vertically opposite, you can just say opposite. So vertically opposite angles are equal. So now we have one of our angles. What about working out these two? So if we look over at this angle here, we can see that it's on a straight line with this angle of 75. We know that angles on a straight line add up to 180. So we can do 180 minus 75, which is going to be 105. So the reason here is that angles on a straight line add to 180. Now this part is going to be interesting, guys. Let's see. Can anybody work out this angle here? How do we work out this angle here? Adam El Imrani says the other side is also 105. Okay, interesting. Why is that? Why is that? Guys, I'm actually really looking forward to tomorrow because so far I think maybe only 20 people have signed up for the live academy, so it's going to be super small class size, so it's going to be super interactive. I'm quite excited. Okay, a lot of people saying, yeah, good job. Let's go with Aisha's answer. That's a perfect answer. So yeah, guys, we can actually say that this angle here is going to be 105 as well. Now, how do we know that? Well, we know that angles in a quadrilateral, so angles in a, and I'm just going to write quad for speed. So angles in a quadrilateral add to 360. So to work out this angle here, we can actually do 360 minus 100 minus 105 minus 50, and that would all total out to 105. Telling us that this one here is 105. Now that we've got these angles, guys, we can see that ABCD is a kite. The reason is because this angle is 100, this is 50, and we have two not vertically opposite, that's incorrect, two opposite angles in that quadrilateral, which are actually the same. So that shows that it is a kite. You don't actually need to write anything for that one in terms of text, apart from these reasons, so we would need to write these. But we actually don't need to worry too much about writing kind of, therefore it's a kite. All you have to do is work out those angles, and that is going to show it. Okay, guys, well done if you got that one. Tricky question. 15 we're going to skip because it's a bit awkward to do. 16 is a bit awkward. Let's do 17. Should we do 17, guys? Vote in the chat for me. Actually, no, let's do 17. Let's do 17. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to read this one. The reason we're doing this one is because it's super likely to come up. Super likely to come up. Guys, please don't spam in the chat, otherwise you will be muted. Yeah, let's do this one. Says, I always get these ones popping up, says Gaming Galore. Yeah, exactly. These ones do come up all the time. All the time. Very, very likely to come up. Guys, this is a bit of a random question as well, so focus on the maths. That's the most important thing. But if anybody's done the question and you're a regular, can you notice any difference today with either the sound or the camera? Can you notice any difference with the sound or the camera? Let me know in the chat. I'd be super interested to know. Because from my side making it, obviously I'm super aware of everything, but probably you guys don't even notice any changes. Maybe you do. Today's quite a big, like, the camera is probably a bit different. Sahil says higher quality. Is that today or? Gaming Law said, is the Live Academy like a Zoom meeting or am I wrong? Okay, interesting. So the Live Academy is hosted on YouTube. So it's kind of like a private YouTube live, let's say. So you kind of log into the platform. I'll give a bit of a demo of it at the end, maybe for anyone interested. But yeah, you log into the platform, you make an account, you sign up, and then it will take you through to like a private live experience. So you can interact in the chat, but it's not like Zoom. There's no cameras on, none of that stuff. It's kind of like a private YouTube live. So there's probably going to be, I think tomorrow there's only going to be like 5 on each, maybe 10 on each of the calls. So it's a super kind of small environment. You get to ask any questions that you have. A lot of people wondering what the price is. So it's £20 a month, but if you sign up today using that discount code, it's going to be £15 a month, which would mean from now until the end of exams, for like 26 lessons, it's going to be £15. So yeah. Okay, guys, let's have a look. How are we going to do this one? Question 17. It says 80 people are asked if they like coffee. We're told that 48 of the people are women, 61 of the 80 people like coffee, 8 of the men do not like coffee. Use this use this information to complete the frequency tree. So what we're going to do is we're going to systematically go through and look at what information we can. Sorry, my nose just got blocked. What information we can fill in the frequency tree. So 48 of these people are women. So that's the first one we can put in. We have a 48 here. Now, because we know that 48 of them are women, we can take this away from the total number of people to work out the number of men. So we can do 80, subtract 48, which is going to give us 32, and that is going to be the number of men. If you got that one, nicely done. Okay, next up, it says 61 of the 80 people like coffee. 8 of the men do not like coffee. So 8 of the men do not like coffee. So we can fill that in. 8 men do not like coffee. Now, where do we go from there? Well, what can we fill in? If 61 of the people like coffee, how many people do not like coffee in total? Drop it in the chat for me. How many of the people do not like coffee in total? If 61 of the people like coffee, how many people in total do not like coffee? Unknown, yep, you got it, good work, says 19, yeah. So if 61 people like coffee, to work out the number of people who do not like coffee, we're going to have to do 80 minus 61, which is going to be 19. So then to work out the number of women who do not like coffee, we can take away the men who do not like coffee. So we can do 19 minus 8, which is going to be 11. So we can fill that in. Now, where can we go from there? Where can we go from there? How many men like coffee? How many men like coffee? Well, we know there's 32 men in total. We know that 8 of them do not like coffee. So to work out the number who like coffee, we can do 32 minus 8, which is going to be 24. 24. Doing exactly the same thing for the women. If there are 48 women in total and 11 of them do not like coffee, we can do 48 minus 11, and that is going to give us 27, or 37, I should say, not 27. It's going to give us 37, which is a number of women who like coffee. Guys, if you got that one, brilliant work. Next up, it says one of the people who like coffee is chosen at random. So one of the people who like coffee is chosen at random. Find the probability that this person is a woman. Guys, give this one some careful thought and see what you can do. Definitely drop your answer in the chat for this one for me. So one of the people who like coffee is chosen at random. Find the probability that this person is a woman. What do we think? Some answers going into the chat. I've not actually seen many good ones yet. Unknown, nicely done. Anybody else? Good work, Ishak. Yeah, nice. Okay, guys. So how do we do this? Well, we might know that to find the probability of something happening, we do the number of ways that that thing can happen divided by the total number of different, options. Well, if we're finding the probability that a person chosen at random who likes coffee is a woman, how many people are we choosing out of? Well, we're choosing out of all of the people who like coffee. So it's going to be this 24 plus this 37. So we're choosing out of 24 plus 37. Now, what's the probability that it's a woman? Well, how many women like coffee? 37 do. So it's going to be 37 out of 24 plus 37. 24 plus 37 is going to be 61. So we can say that our answer to this one, guys, is 37 out of 61. If you got that one, superb job. Pretty tricky question there, guys. Pretty tricky question. We're now into the overlap portion, so all of these questions are higher as well. All of these questions are higher as well. Okay, moving on to our next one. Shall we go through this? Yeah, let's go through this. Question 18. I'm going to give you a good few minutes for this one. 4 marks up for grabs. I'm gonna have a look at the chat. Let's see. Julia said, "Oh, I thought we were just choosing out of the women." Nope, we were actually choosing out of all of the people who like coffee. So the men who like coffee and the women who like coffee. Shafak says, "Is this paper 2 non-calc?" This is actually paper 1 non-calc, and it is the November 2018 foundation paper. Question 18. Let's see what we can do. Zandra said, "I did this in class today." You should be bagging all the marks then. You should be bagging all the marks. Hira K says, "When are you doing higher?" Maybe I should add it onto the screen. Higher is going to be 8:15 till 9. 8:15 till 9. Eliza said, "Yo, damn, what time did it start?" We started today at 7 o'clock. QSS Editorium said, "Interesting question, lol." Yeah, this one's tricky, eh? This one's tricky. Okay. Toby says, "Is this foundation?" Yep, this one is foundation. Lynn says, "Wait till you get the scale factor and add the 20% of 5A. Lots of different ideas for this one, guys. What I will say is this. Actually, no, I'm going to do part of the question. We're going to go through part of the question, and then I'm going to give you a bit more time, then we'll go through the rest of it. So this one says that Food Mart and Jan's store sell boxes of the same type of breakfast cereal, and each shop has a special offer. We have Food Mart on the left, 400 grams, and 20% off the normal price of £5. And then we have Jan's store, 400 grams plus 30% extra for £5. And we want to know which one is better value for money. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare the price of each of them, either by doing the amount of money per gram or the amount of grams per pound. And the easier one to do is going to kind of reveal itself as we go through the question. The first thing to do, though, is going to be to reduce this price by 20%. So reduce this £5 by 20%, and to increase this 400 grams by 30%. So we're going to have, let's go for Food Mart on the left. So Food Mart on the left. We have 20% off the normal price of £5. So how are we going to reduce £5 by 20%? Well, the first step is going to be to find 20%. And the best way to do this is going to be to firstly find 10%. So 10% of £5, and then to double it. How do we find 10%? Well, we're going to divide this number by 10. £5 divided by 10 is going to be 50 pence. Moving that decimal point one place to the left. Now to find 20%, we're going to double it. So 20% of £5 is going to be £1. So we need to reduce this by £1. So we're going to do £5 minus £1, and that is going to be £4. So we know basically that in Food Mart, we get 400 grams for £4. So 400 grams for £4. Okay, let's do the same thing over here for Jan's store. What are we going to do? Well, 400 grams plus an extra 30%. We're going to find 10% first of all. So 10% of 400 grams is going to be 40 grams. And then we're going to times it by 3 to get 30%. So we're going to have 30% of 400 grams is equal to 40 grams times by 3, which is going to be 120 grams. We know that we get an extra 20% for free. So we're going to do our 400 grams, an extra 30% for free, plus that 120 grams, we're going to get 520 grams. 520 grams. Okay, So we know that in Jan's store we get 520 grams for £5. So we've now worked out both of the values, but we need a way to compare them. So guys, how can we compare them? Well, we have 400 grams for £4 or 520 grams for £5. What we're going to do is we're going to work out in both cases how much we get. Yeah, nicely done. Unknown says make them per pound. Exactly. We're going to scale these down to work out how many grams we get for each of our pounds. How do we go from £4 to £1? Well, we can divide it by 4. So we're going to also divide the 400 grams by 4. We're going to have 100 grams for £1. Now we can do exactly the same for Jan's store. We're going to divide the amount of money by 5 this time. So we're also going to divide the 520 by 5. We can whip out a handy bus stop. 520 on the inside divided by 5. We're going to do 5s into 5 goes once. 5s into 2 goes 0 times, remainder 2. 5s into 20 goes 4 times. So we're going to have 104 grams for £1. So whose is better value for money, guys? We can see that Jan's store is actually better value. Jan's store is actually better value. And the reason for that, guys, is because we get more grams per pound. If you got that one, fantastic work. That was tricky, eh? That was tricky. A lot of you guys are going to be getting tired now. I can see the number of people over on the TikTok has decreased quite a lot. I know with these longer questions, most people start dropping out. How are we doing over on the channel? Okay, still quite a few of us on. Good to see, guys. Good to see. Okay, we're going to do one more question, and then we're going to call it a day. We're going to skip that one. Let's do question 20. Quite a few questions have been in the chat about the Live Academy, so I'm going to mention that briefly at the end. So we're going to do this question. We're going to throw our party, which we always do, the most important part of the whole session. I'm going to mention the Live Academy just to answer a few questions. And then I'm going to go chill for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to be back, and we're going to do a higher paper. Zain Mahmood says, this guy's proper helpful. Hey, that's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Thank you. Liverpool FC said, can we cancel out the 3s? Kind of, depending on what you mean by that. I'll go through it in just a sec. Abdullah says 3 to the power of 2. Neil says 9. Leia says 3 to the power of 2. Guys, should we have a look? Let's have a look. Question number 20. Yeah. This one says 3 to the power of 7 times by 3 to the power of minus 2 over 3 to the power of 3. Work out the value of this. Guys, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to use our laws of indices. We're going to use what we know about multiplying a number to a power by the same number to another power. We know that when we have a base to a power and we times it by the same base to another power, we can actually add those powers. So here we can do 7 plus negative 2, which is going to give us 5. So we're going to have 3 to the power of 5 over 3 to the power of 3. 3 to the power of 3 over 3 to the power of 3. Well, this just means, 3 to the power of 5 over 3 to the power of 3. Well, this just means 3 to the power of 5 divided by 3 to the power of 3. Now, when we have a base to a power and we divide it by the same base to another power, we're going to subtract those powers. 5 subtract 3 is going to be 2. 3 to the power of 2, guys, is going to be 3 times 3, which is 9. If you got that one, amazing work. Guys, that's where we're going to call it a day with the foundation stuff. I'm going to be back in about 15 minutes doing some higher questions, so feel free to join that one as well. But before we go, guys, you know what we do at the end of the sessions. Let's get the emojis in the chat. We're going to throw a little party to appreciate the work that we're putting in. That is a good, solid hour of revision done. We want dancer emojis, disco emojis, whatever good vibe emojis you can come up with. Unknown says, thank you, mate. Hey, my pleasure. You're very welcome. Helen's leading the charge with the runner emoji. Neil's dancing. Faith has got the tongue out. Bradley's dancing. Guys, let's spam the chat full of all of those emojis. Unknown's partying. Lynn is partying. Hey, fantastic. My yo-yo-yo-yo-yo's got the thumbs up. Abdullah says, thanks, man. Hey, my pleasure, mate. My pleasure. Richumer's partying. Nahom's partying. Helen Safi's partying. Over on the channel, the party always pops off. We've got IE partying. We've got Nukes partying. Shamak Mohammed partying. Justine partying. Hey, wicked. Rachel's got the trophies out. Guys, wicked. Wicked, wicked. Guys, you come up with the funniest names, man. QSS Editorium says A-star raw. Okay, okay. Okay, Gaming Galore laptop died. Okay, gotcha. Maybe you're on your phone now. Awesome. Okay, guys. Ryan Edit said thank you from... Hey, what country is that? That's super interesting. That's super interesting. Okay, guys, there's been lots of questions about the... Actually, before we finish, or before I mention the Live Academy, guys, close your eyes for me. Everybody in the chat. I'm going to look silly if nobody does... Well, I mean, you're not going to know if each other do it, but please do it. Guys, close your eyes. Take a moment to appreciate the work that we're putting in. Another good solid hour done, and give yourself a little pat on the back. Give yourself a little pat on the back. I'll do the same thing. Why? Because, guys, it's important. It's important. You know, it's a difficult period. GCSEs, lots of stress. Exams are now right around the corner. Maths is in 2 weeks, right? Paper 1. So, yeah. Guys, it's important. It's super important. It's very easy to, you know, appreciate, like, to know how much work there's left to do, but to forget how much work has already been done. So, yeah. Okay. Guys, superb. Ryan said Botswana. Very nice. Actually, I have a friend from Botswana. Beautiful country, eh? Okay, quite a few people asking about the Live Academy, so I'm just going to mention that quickly now. So, a lot of people have been asking me to do more. Hopefully this works. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me to do more lives. So I've managed to rearrange my calendar, rearrange my schedule a bit. I've actually had to cancel some other stuff. And I am able to do a few more lives. So starting literally tomorrow, first sessions are going to be tomorrow. I'm going to be doing 4 live lessons a week on the website, or my website, mygcsemaths.com. Unfortunately, I do have to charge a small amount for it, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it, because you know, I have to earn money somehow. I earn nothing at all from the social media. So it is £20 a month. You can cancel it anytime. So if you literally just want it for the next month until GCSEs are done, then you literally sign up, cancel it straight away. It's super simple to cancel. You can either send an email or you just do it, you know, after you've logged in. And then if you sign up today, the discount code is probably only going to be valid for today. Using the code MGM launch, you can get 25% off. 25% off, so that's going to make it £15 a month. I'm also going to be adding more sessions in there, so the minimum amount possible is going to be 4 sessions a week, 2 higher, 2 foundation, but I'm probably going to be adding some more. So we have sessions tomorrow, 5 till 6 for foundation, 6:30 till 7:30 for higher. Also the same on Sunday. Next week, it's Thursday, Sunday. The week after that, it's Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, and there's going to be more sessions added in and stuff. There's also actually a private community, so like a Discord community where you can ask questions and get support and this kind of thing. So yeah, if you want, I can actually log in, show you what it looks like. So it's super, super simple. It's on mygcsemaths.com. You know, a few reviews and that kind of thing on there, and then you literally just log in at the top. Hopefully this is going to work. You log in at the top like this, and then you can see on here, this is where you access the lessons. So you would click on May, and then you can see all of the lessons here scheduled, and then you literally just come on here and you can see that it's all scheduled, all ready to go. So you just join there, and then click the link or watch it through this portal, whatever you prefer. Any questions on this, let me know, guys. It's definitely not going to be for everybody, but I know a lot of people kind of want a private tutor and want that like one-to-one support, but a lot of families aren't in the position to have a private tutor. So this is kind of my way of bridging the gap, because it's going to be probably 1 to 5 to 10. So there's going to be 5 to 10 people in the class. So you can ask any questions that you have. And if you want to go, if kind of the group wants to go through a particular topic, we can do that. It's going to be kind of really tailor-made, Okay, I'm looking at the chat now. Yep, Valley, it's £20 a month. And literally, yeah, guys, cancel it as soon as GCSEs are done. As soon as GCSEs are done. Okay. Let's see. Gaming Galore said, when are you doing free live streams again? The plan for that is going to be confirmed over the weekend. So I'm actually not 100% sure at the moment. Not 100% sure at the moment. Okay, looking at the chat. Please don't promote stuff in the chat. Unless it's actually genuinely super helpful for everybody. Okay. Lynn said, I'll never talk to you after this live. Oh, Lynn, don't go. Okay. Hirake said, I have an access to the live academy, so I just have to press the link. Yeah, exactly. So if you have an account, all you have to do tomorrow is log in and the live will be there. Yeah. Guys, also just a quick note on predicted papers and stuff, or not even predicted papers, but leaked papers. Guys, nobody has leaked papers. Leaked papers do not exist. If any paper did get leaked, then the whole of GCSEs for that subject would be cancelled. So like, let's say even the day of the exam, you find a rumor that the paper gets leaked or somebody's selling a leaked paper, guys, it's rubbish. They cancel the exam if that happened. Okay. Couple of people asking for any last minute tips ahead of exams. What I would say, guys, is really prioritize getting a good night's sleep tonight. If you've done no revision at all, it's going to be worth cramming tonight. It's going to be worth, doing some extra papers, going through some content. But if you've been revising, then the day before the exam, maybe do a paper or two or whatever. But the most important thing is going to be getting a good night's sleep and getting in the right mindset ahead of the exam. That's what I always say. So kind of whether you should cram before an exam, lots of people have opinions on, lots of people ask. But what I would say is it really depends on how much revision you've done so far. If you've been doing revision, cramming is not the best strategy. The best strategy is getting a good night's sleep and good rest. If you've done no revision at all, guys, cram till your heart's content. Like then any bit of knowledge you can get in your head is going to be helpful. Barbie said, "Oop, am I late?" Barbie, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're actually early. So I'm going to be ending this live very soon and then setting up a new one for the hire. Gaming Galore said, please let us know when you confirm over the weekend by posting it on your channel if you can. Yep, absolutely. So we'll go up on the channel and also the TikTok when I do know. Okay. Yeah, good question, Will Lawrence. So quite a few people saying, if I pay on May the 12th, do I get it until 12th of June? Yes, correct. So some people might want to do that. You might be thinking like, I want it for the last period. Instead of starting it now, you could do that. You get access for a month from the time of the payment. So yeah. Okay, a lot of people, let's see, any more questions? Okay, so Asim Ansari said, who does foundation maths? Absolutely diabolical. Start the hire. Unfortunately, Asim, we do not tolerate anything like that in the chat, so you're going to be removed, my friend. Guys, if you're doing hire, please do not take it as an opportunity to say that foundation is easy. This would be like me coming to somebody doing hire and saying, oh, it's so easy to get 100% in half an hour. Instead of, it just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, please, anybody doing hire who is in the foundation lives, just be supportive. Don't say that it's easy. Like I say, that's like me saying to you that it's easy to get a grade 9. Like, it just doesn't make sense, right? Okay. QSS Editorium said, for real. Yeah. Okay. Guys, I'm going to end the live now. I'm going to schedule another one to start at 8:20. I know I kind of might have accidentally misled by saying that I'm going to be going live at 8 for higher. The plan's changed a little bit, so we're going to be starting at 20 past 8. So actually, for anybody who's joined the stream thinking it was going to start at 8, so the foundation live ran a little bit over, so I'm just going to take a little 10-minute break, and I'm going to start with a higher live at 20 past 8. So if you do want to join for the higher live, come back at 20 past 8, and we're going to be cooking. Okay, guys, I'll see you all very soon. 20 past 8 is when we're going to be starting the higher tier live. If you were with me for the foundation live, guys, superb work. That's a great hour of revision done. And I will see you in the next one. Salute. Adios.